Alright, let's try that clip again. This is David and Goliath. And they gathered together. This is the hill that the Israelites were camped out on. So they were fairly close together. Down there where the rocks are is the brook that David would have picked the stones up out of. And so this is the area right here. Saul, David over there on the hill. All of it took place right here. And here we are down in the riverbed. This is where David would have come down to get the stones. This section right along here. We're gathering up there to read the section from the Old Testament.
First Samuel 17, the Philistines gathered for battle in Soko, town in Judah, and they camped at a place called Ephesh Damim between Soko. Soko's over here, behind us. Azekah is over there.
Yevesh Damim, it's mean a place of blood. Dam, it's mean blood, because there were many battles in this valley, the Elah Valley.
Okay. And the Philistines lined up on one hill and the Israelites on another with the valley between them. And out came Goliath. And we remember the story of his challenge to the Israelites. And David says to the men who are there, "What will a man get who kills this Philistine and frees Israel from this disgrace? After all, who is this heathen Philistine to defy the army of the living God?" And Eliab, David's brother, takes offense and rebukes him. But David, after talking with Saul, in verse 40, he took his shepherd's stick and then picked up 5 smooth stones from the stream, right here, and put them in his bag. With his sling ready, he went out to meet Goliath. And okay, so probably went out somewhere between here and there, maybe where the road is, to meet Goliath. And Goliath comes out, and when he sees David, he says to him, "What's the stick for? Am I a dog that you should come to me with a stick?" And he called down curses from his God on David. "Come on, and I will give your body to the birds and animals to eat." David answered, "You are coming against me with the sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the Israelite armies, which you have defied. This very day the Lord will put you in my power. I will defeat you and cut off your head, and I will give the bodies of the Philistine soldiers to the birds and animals to eat. Then the whole world will know that Israel has a God. Everyone here will see that the Lord does not need swords or spears to save his people. He is victorious in battle, and he will put all of you in our power." And David ran quickly toward the Philistine, reached into his bag, took out a stone, and slung it at Goliath. It hit him in the forehead and broke his skull, and Goliath fell face downward on the ground. And so without a sword, David defeated and killed Goliath. He ran to him, stood over him, took out his sword, cut off his head, and killed him. And when the Philistines saw their hero was dead, they ran away, and they pursued them all the way to Gath and to Ekron.
Gath is in the south, Ekron is on that direction.
Okay, Gath this way, Ekron that way. And the Philistines fell wounded all along the road that leads to Sha'arim, as far as Gath and Ekron. Wonderful.
Here's another really neat shot of the riverbed, looking on up toward the hill where the Israelite army was camped.
Don't go to the road, please, until everybody comes.
One here is Azekah, but most likely the troops are all lined along here.
So David comes up out of the riverbed to my right, and he comes walking up across this field. And here he comes, this little kid.
Where all the trees are would be the Philistine soldiers.
And they're standing there looking at me. And Goliath is standing out there, and Goliath's over by the bus.
And on this hill behind us are all the Israeli soldiers up on the ground. Are they all watching?
They're watching to see what's going to happen to David. And here he comes. There he goes, walking across the field. And God gives him a mighty victory.
And then the Philistines they run down to the left toward Gath, around through that valley where those antenna,
Yeah.
to the right of it, to the tower. That's through the valley that way, and they run to the right, back toward their stronghold of Ascalon, up to the right.
There they go.
The Philistines are running on their hills, going to kill them all. I mean, the Israeli soldiers.